Today, I'm going to start with something uncomfortable, and I'm doing that on purpose. I'm doing that on purpose because I have an amazing guest today. And I really am reaching across the aisle this time. And I'm not talking to women specifically, but we are going to come back around that. I want to talk to all of the men out there. There's a belief that a lot of us grow up with, and that is we learned it from the adults in the room that big boys don't cry, that we're supposed to be strong, that we can handle anything. But what happens when the thing that we have to handle seems almost unbearable? In families and relationships, we talk to ourselves when things hurt. But what happens when men don't have a place to lay that? There's a lot of times that I'm in a live and I'm talking to all the women, and a man will come in and he always says to me, "Do you only work with women?" What happens with men that don't have the space when they really don't have the space? Friends, I have an amazing guest, and it's Coach Martize. He is also part of the Frazier group. And I met this guy, and I was like, you got to get on this podcast. We got to share. We got to talk. We got to reach out. So, most people don't avoid their pain because they're weak. They avoid their emotional pain or processing pain because of things that they have learned in the past. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm excited about this conversation. But first, I want to introduce to you Coach Martize and the Power Coach.
Thank you, Sarah. Absolutely. Thank you, thank
Welcome
you.
to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hearing your intro, I got pumped up just hearing your intro because you said something that was so key that I often coach young men as well as older men that pain is not a sign of weakness, but it is a sign of being vulnerable and to recognize that pain.
Yeah.
And it's not just what I've heard. This is what I experienced in my own life, uh, being in positions where it's not manly to talk of pain.
Yeah.
We often suppress that
Yeah.
as little boys. Don't cry, be a big boy. Don't cry,
Yeah.
be a big boy. And you said something earlier that led me to think about how that follows us through all of our relationships, including interactions and things like that. We want to have this tough exterior, and it has cost me relationships, marriages,
Yeah.
nearly a second marriage where I wasn't comfortable with being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that in itself can do more damage to relationships, including relationship with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so eye-opening when we start to look at all these different aspects of life and how we were led and guided, right? One
Yeah.
of the things that you do is you help, I'm going to say people, with their thoughts and things that they've got to have a certain mindset. They've got to have a certain set of energy, right? And I
Yeah.
think that let me here, follow me here. A lot of men who are struggling with moving on or feeling or being vulnerable
Yes.
actually really happened, a lot of them from their childhood. A lot of
Yes.
what they learned in their childhood. And now they bring that same thought and that toughness and that mindset, and it can actually hurt them in the long run.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What I typically focus on, I like to remind people because these are some of the things that we already know, but we need to be reminded that our belief system, I compare it to our cell phones.
Yeah.
Think about your phone. The moment you got, whether you're Android or iPhone, the moment you got that phone, you powered it up. The moment you turned it on, apps were already popping on the phone as if they knew you needed these phones. It was designed to operate this phone. We're no different. The moment we come into a family and a culture, we're given pre installed apps or pre installed beliefs And some of those beliefs, in my opinion, are damaging our relationships as
Yeah.
we get older because they're outdated, one. Our parents were just looking to survive. And so when you inherit these survival belief systems, it puts you in a different space. And that space doesn't allow you to be vulnerable, especially for men, which is essentially one of the most important aspects of any relationship, especially the relationship with yourself, being able to be vulnerable as well as being accountable for
Yeah.
your vulnerability. Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay.
Yourself
Write
here.
something down. That was so interesting.
Mm.
What do you think the difference is between being strong and just surviving?
The difference in being strong
And
and
just
just
surviving. I wonder if the being strong, I'm going to throw this out here, is the non-true part. If the
say the
being
last
strong
part.
is the non-true part. We're not, if we're just acting strong and trying to be strong and trying to push through based on beliefs that we have, right?
Hmm.
Are we really being true to ourselves or are we just doing that just to survive every single day?
Again, absolutely. I think it goes back to the belief system that a man's supposed to be strong, that he um, must be respected, and he must be have this exterior, hard exterior in order to
Yeah.
survive. Again, I believe these beliefs are outdated. They do more harm than good.
Yeah.
I often remind people that life is about flow,
Yeah.
not about surviving and being strong. Allow it to flow. I often talk about how life is nothing but a series of experiences that we have each and every day. And we all know experience is our best teacher.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's safe to say that every experience gives us this opportunity to learn.
Right.
And if we approach the life as a student looking to learn, it allows us to flow, learning,
Absolutely.
growing, things like that, and letting go. When you're looking up and when you're talking about being in a space of survival, being strong, that's not love, that's fear,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that fear, that frequency creates your reality.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And some of us, we're just barely surviving, but we think we're doing it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Can someone look all put together and be stuck? Can someone look like they got it all going on, but in actuality, they're really stuck?
absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
I would submit that most people are stuck in some type of emotional uh, trap because of what we've been taught. Let's, I mean, let's just put the cards on the table. We're not taught self-love, not in
Right.
school,
Yeah.
and our parents were never taught us. So they aren't able to teach us. Sure, our parents
Right.
loved us to the best of their ability, but we're talking about being in a space of self-love. If that's not taught to you by default, you occupy a space of fear. And
Yeah.
fear looks differently depending on the environment that you are raised in. You put your thumbs up.
I'm telling you because I'm like preaching. Absolutely. How did you learn this?
Good question. It was part of my purpose. We all have a purpose, as you know, I'm sure that you agree with.
Yeah.
And part of my purpose was to experience those emotions, those stuck experiences that helped shape me. And when I say it was part of my purpose, we all have been through some experiences.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to not only learn from the experiences, but take the wisdom out of the experience,
Yeah.
which puts me back in alignment, what I like to call alignment, where I'm learning. I'm a huge fan of understanding that knowledge is power and power is love. And
Yeah.
that's where we naturally belong. For a long time, I was like so many other people, not looking at the experience as an opportunity to learn, but looking at the experience as something that happened to me. I
Yes.
lost it. I lost a child. I lost a parent. I lost, a marriage. But now that I look back on it, Sharon, that wasn't things that wasn't experiences that was happening to me. It was happening
Yes.
for me.
Yes.
I look at it as my curriculum, just like in school. In order
Yeah.
to fulfill the purpose of graduating, you must go through the second grade, the third grade, the fourth grade. You must go through certain experiences. And
Right.
you may not like all the experiences, but it's our responsibility to pull out the wisdom of the experience. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
So somewhere along the way, you decided, I got to change. I got to move different. But then you started coaching people in that.
hmm
So tell me more about that.
I've been in the fitness industry since 2007. So um, I was already helping people get physically fit. It wasn't until I experienced a separation with my second wife that my purpose really started to surface. Then the light bulb came on, and I was starting to understand physical muscles and emotional
Yeah.
muscles, they work hand in hand. And it led me to want to help other people who are struggling with both those physicals and emotional muscles, because I was struggling with my emotions. I was physically fit, but emotionally I was weak. I was
Yeah.
struggling.
Yeah.
And once I started to see the similarities in those muscles, just my purpose in me wanted to just help other people. Once I was able to help myself, of course,
Yeah.
once you're able to step outside and look at yourself, like, listen, hey man, you got to get this thing together. You are in this dysfunctional cycle of blaming and judging and labeling and criticizing. And you know what I found out, Sharon? So many of us are doing the same thing.
Exactly.
It's normalized to do
Yes.
these things,
Yes.
which took me down another path. Like, why is that?
Yes. Yes. And why do we allow
Mhm.
it? Why do we normalize it? And why do we make it like it's okay? So out of the pain,
hmm
you started to look at the emotional muscles of yourself and you
hmm
started working
Yeah.
on those. So
Yeah.
now, as part of your coaching program, you really work a lot on mindset, emotions, how we deal with this. Okay.
Yes.
What makes the average man want to hold back? What do you think? Is it that? Are you a big boy or a baby? Or is it that they don't see a lot of men like themselves who are suffering and in pain? And I'm not pointing to men, but that's what I see a lot in the business. There are men that come into my program and they'll do
hmm
everything I ask to work on
Okay.
brokenness and do their emotions. There are men that are like, mm-mm, no, lady, I'm not coming over there. You're not gonna make me cry. Like,
Yeah.
what makes a man really want to tap into that? And that's, I really want you to speak to the men who are struggling, who know they need some emotional help, but just are not
Mm.
willing to do it.
They're just not ready.
Yeah.
They're just not ready, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. We we're in the field where we want to help people, but
Yeah.
at the same time, we must allow people to go through their process of
Oh, yeah.
pain.
Yeah.
And when they have got to that point in their lives where enough is enough, change must happen, then at that point, I believe most men will submit to the process of allowing themselves to be vulnerable, to be accountable. But going back to your point, we don't see that a lot. We're not, we don't live in a culture where it's okay for a man to say, I need help.
Yeah.
And by default, our ego wants to adapt to
Yeah.
the norm, what everyone else is doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so it doesn't allow us to be ready. But Every man has their own journey.
Yeah.
Some may never get to that point,
Yeah.
and that's okay too.
And that's okay too. And I get that. I absolutely get that. And everything, every experience that we have in life, we learn a little bit from it.
Yeah.
And I it hurts my heart sometimes. I really just wish we had an equal playing field. Like people expect women to cry and to come to the brokenness
Yes.
of that, but not always from the men. And it hurts my heart. Let me ask you this. Do
Sure.
people come to your work motivated or are they exhausted? Who do you think you see more of as a client? A motivated, somebody's ready, willing, able to go, or people that are just emotionally exhausted?
You have to you have to want it. You
Yeah,
have to motivate. You have to be motivated. Like I talked about, being on that journey, and when it's that time, you have to be motivated. So um, I enjoy working with people who really want it because
yeah,
I can't want it. I can't want it more than you.
yeah,
This is
exactly.
something. This is something that you have to tap into and say enough is enough. I want something different in my reality. In order to change your outer reality, we must tap into that inner battle, that
Yeah,
internal battle that you're having. And it's just a matter of making a decision and say
yeah,
enough is enough.
yeah, yeah. Do you think that most people choose healing or they just get so knocked down that there's no way out but to go towards the healing? Whether we're healing our body, we're healing our brain, do we choose it? Or is it just like this the last straw and we're just like, I got to do something?
Oh, that's such a complex question, Sharon. I will have to answer that in a way that it doesn't shame others for not being at that point. But
Yeah,
again, I'm going to go back to having a purpose.
yeah,
And once you identify your purpose, you you will begin to look at what you are going through not as pain, something to heal from,
yeah,
but you look at it as your curriculum, things I had to learn. I had to go through these things. I may not like what I've been through. I may not have understood some of these experiences.
yeah.
I take myself for example. Losing a son didn't didn't feel good.
No.
Didn't feel good. Now I have an opportunity. This was an experience that I experienced in
Yeah,
2007. Now we're into 2026. I can go back and look at that experience and regain my power and say,
yeah,
what did that teach me?
yeah,
Pull out the wisdom of
yeah,
that. And what I learned that life is precious. Life can last a few weeks, a few years, a few months, whatever. And so when you are in a position to learn from the experience, it puts you back in alignment. Knowledge is power, power is love. Or or I could have still looked at that experience as a traumatic experience. It was painful, it was hurtful, and that allows me to be stuck in
yeah,
2007.
yeah. Yes,
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 so it's all about decision and how we choose to look at life. And as I stated earlier, life is nothing but a series of experiences. You have the opportunity to learn from the experience or become a victim of the experience.
absolutely, absolutely. And I know that we're saying this, and I know that people are hearing us, and they're like, "Well, that's easy for you guys to say," but it's a tough journey.
It
It's
is.
a tough healing is a tough journey. So, so that I understand this correctly, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
People come to you to work with you and get coached by you physically, correct?
Yes.
And while you're doing that, you're also working on their mindset.
Oh yeah, we do both movement and mindset coaching. Yes. Well, before we jump into the mindset coaching, I get the body movement, because when you look at the difference between and no shade to therapy, but the difference between therapy and coaching. And I've been to therapy
Yeah,
several times, and I enjoy. I got a lot out of it. but some people come into therapy with their guards up.
Yes.
And what I've learned, the physical and emotional muscle working hand in hand. Once I get your body moving, it relaxes and
Yes.
calms the brain, the mind. Now you're able to be a little bit more open and vulnerable
Yeah.
about talking.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah, we start off with movement and then we jump into some mindset, whatever someone feels that they are struggling in, whether it's, trauma, healing, insecurities,
Yeah.
triggers. And so we just
Yeah.
kind of dive into it in.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
What do people think will happen if they finally stop holding it all together? What do they think will happen? So people come to you, they're coming to you to get their body in shape, but as you and I both know, there's mental part of it. If I stop holding this all together and if I stop looking perfect, people are going to see who I really am. And if they see who I really am I going to be able to survive? Am I going to be able to push through?
And that's the part that we attack. We attack the part of those insecurities. Let's face it, you know, most people can honestly say that they are dealing with some level of
Yeah.
insecurities.
Yeah.
And when we dissect insecurities, we understand that insecurities are rooted in fear. Fear of not feeling accepted, fear of not feeling worthy, of feeling enough. Also, we must understand that we're energy beings
Yes.
and we vibrate on a frequency.
Yes.
You have the choice.
Yes.
Do you want to continue to vibe off a fear-based frequency
Right.
or you want to vibe off a love frequency? There's a
Yeah.
difference. Either way, you're not wrong, but you have that choice.
Yes.
You have that choice. So,
What is, do you believe that the experience that you had in 2007 with your son
mhm.
has is fueling your purpose? Is it a part of
Oh
your
yeah.
purpose or are you sharing that?
Yes, absolutely. It was definitely part of my purpose. And again, as I compare life's experiences like school. I had to go to the first grade,
Yeah.
second grade, third grade. I had to go
Yeah.
through these things. So, and when I compare my experiences of losing my son, losing my dad, losing a marriage, just when you go through all these experiences, you have you have the choice. Again, you have the choice to look at it as something that I I needed to learn something from it.
Yeah.
And if you look at it in that aspect, okay, this was part of my purpose. In order to fulfill my purpose, I must go through some certain experiences.
Yes.
And now, because I was able to pull out the wisdom of it, I have the responsibility to teach that, to coach that, to help other people get through those experiences that they may feel stuck and feel like, you know, there's no light on the other end. There's light on the other end, but we must change the internal mindset of how we are experiencing this life that we call life, this game
Yeah.
we call
Yeah.
life.
This game we call life as we're trying to
This
figure it
game
out.
we call life,
Oh
yes.
my gosh, so crazy. Okay. Coach Martize, tell us where people can find you.
People can find me on social media platforms, TikTok. I go by the Power Coach Martez on TikTok. Um, YouTube, I can put that in the chat. I'm on
Yeah.
YouTube as well. I'm actually looking to launch my podcast as
Yeah.
well. I am aligned podcast where I remind people of the space that they occupy in.
Yeah.
Most of us, as we talked about earlier, misalignment has been so normalized that
Yeah.
we don't even realize that we are coming from a fear-based mindset. Everyone's so reactive, Sharon. Everyone's
Yeah.
so on the edge and easily triggered.
Yes.
We're out of alignment.
Yeah.
And the podcast and I'm doing some writing as well is to remind people to get back into alignment.
Yes.
And by getting back to alignment, it just simply means becoming a student of life.
Yeah.
I repeat this over and over as I'm like a broken record. Knowledge is power, power is
Yes.
love. So to get yourself out of a space of fear, of a misalignment to a space of love, which is alignment, remain a student of life.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I love it. I absolutely love it. Absolutely beautiful. I am excited about the podcast. You have something else I want you to tell me what is checkmate?
Checkmate is okay. Let me rewind back because you asked me a question about and I start going other places with it. um, I have 5 different programs.
Okay.
It takes a village boot camp.
Yes.
This is geared for parents and families to help strengthen the connections, strengthen the communications. Oftentimes, we're parenting the way we were parented, which no shade to our parents, but they was doing the best they could,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's just time to update some of those pre-installed apps or
Yeah.
pre-installed beliefs. So that it takes a village. Spectrum Strong is neurodivergent adults and family members who are dealing with autism. My son Malachi is 18. He's on the autism spectrum. Um, he's doing awesome. We had an awesome idea because he lived with his mom in the suburb of Chicago. And during the week, we began to do our Zoom call, kind of like this here, where he would work out. I would watch him work out. I'm a trainer, so hey, he want to get stronger for the basketball team, which he made the basketball team. Hooray to
Oh.
Malachi! And and so we had the idea to start a Spectrum Strong boot camp, and then there's Men to Fit. That's a mentoring and fitness for teenage boys, and Couples Corner for couples who are struggling. Me and my wife, again, I talked about we're separated for 2 months just before our 8th year anniversary. Um, we get accustomed at pointing the finger at each other when
Yeah.
and we we both could admit that before we got married, we should have both worked on some insecurities
Oh, yeah.
because all you do is bring that into a marriage.
Yeah.
And when their insecurities are triggered, depending on what you saw growing up, this is how you typically would react. And checkmate coaching is for individuals. You may not be a parent, you may not be in a relationship, but you just someone who just want to experience life how you want it on your terms in a space of love, space of strength, purpose. So checkmate coaching is is one of my newest programs, but it's just looking at life like the game of chess.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be
Don't
thinking
be
in a
thinking
game
all the
of chess.
time. Yeah.
But guess what, Sharon? Most of us are led by our emotions,
Yes.
and then we look back and say, "Oh, what was I thinking? I blacked out." You wasn't thinking because
Yeah.
you were leading with your emotions. And
Yes.
oftentimes, those emotions can cause you to make a very unfavorable decision.
Oh,
So that's
yeah.
checkmate coaching. So there's 5 programs that me and my wife had created. They're both virtual and in person. So people can
Beautiful.
find me and hey, whatever you're looking to get out of life, allow me to be a part of that journey.
An absolute beautiful guy. Wow. Wow. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Dude, I got to bring you back for each one of these and interview on each one of these. I'm over here trying to do the little picture. I'm like, wait a minute. I got to
Yeah,
get on that. I got to interview him on that. I
yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to lead this way because I see men that are hurting sometimes, and there's so many beautiful coaches like yourself that are out there actually doing it and living your purpose and taking
Yeah,
life experiences and bringing it to the table and showing other men that it's okay. It's okay. We can do this. We can do this together. And that's where I
absolutely.
kind of wanted to go with that today. So I want to
Yeah,
say thank you so much. I'm going to put all of your links in the show notes
yeah.
and I'm going to have you back. I got to have you and your wife back. I got to have a
Oh,
couple out
absolutely.
here to
Yeah,
talk,
absolutely.
share that.
My wife is a school social worker, so she's
Yeah,
seen and heard a lot, and we're both in this space
yeah,
um, making people aware that you are loved and that you
yeah,
are able to can be in the space of connecting with others
yeah.
and getting yourself together. Yes. So yeah, I would
Awesome.
love to come back.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it together. I'm gonna get you back on the books and we're gonna do it
Yeah.
again. Sir,
Yes,
thank
yes.
you
I
very
appreciate the
much.
opportunity. Thank you,
Thank you for
Sharon.
your
Appreciate
time.
it.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
I got an amazing podcast you guys have to see. I have a knockout guest, Coach Martez. I have to ask you a question. Where do you think beliefs come from?
Ooh, beliefs comes from our environment,
Yeah,
our culture, our parents. We're creatures of habit, and we learn by what we are exposed to.
yeah,
And those beliefs in my opinion, are passed down. Like I talked about the pre-installed apps on the phone. The moment we come home from the hospital, we're given pre-installed beliefs about life, about parenting, about ourselves that we're given. And and here's the ironic part about that, Sharon. We will fight to the death of for some of these beliefs that was handed to us in the first place. They're not even our beliefs, but
not
we
even
will fight to
ours.
the deaths for these beliefs. And quite often we defend these beliefs because they came from people that we love and trust. And we typically never go against those people when they teach us a belief. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So deep. And it's something that we absolutely have to be looking at. Thank you. Thank you, Coach Marquez. Martez. I want to tell you guys, you got to see the podcast. It's amazing. Check it out. Click the link
Yeah,
below.
absolutely.